Hi, this is Steve Johnson, Farm and Agriculture Business Management Specialist with Iowa State University Extension and Outreach. This is a series of videos titled Finalizing ARC PLC Decisions. ARC stands for Agriculture Risk Coverage and PLC for Price Loss Coverage. This is video number 1, titled ARC PLC, an Overview. Let's take a look at the decisions for commodity crop landowners as well as producers. These are decisions that will be made over the next 6 months by Farm Service Agency or FSA farm number. A farm can be enrolled in ARC County, ARC CO, in ARC Individual, ARC IC, or PLC, Price Loss Coverage. Again, the decision will be made over the next few months, and these decisions will be made by both the landowner as well as the producer. Let's look at ARC CO first. ARC CO uses 85% of base acres. It's triggered by revenue, yield times price. It uses the county yield, the most recent 5 years, Olympic average, OA, throw out the high and throw out the low over the most recent 5 years, times an Olympic average national cash price, throw out the high and throw out the low for the most recent 5 years. For the 2014 crop, we'll use 2009 through 2013 yields as well as prices. For the ARC IC, it will use 65% of the base acres on the farm, and you start to see the importance of the base acre decision that will be made by the landowner over the next few months. It too is a revenue trigger. It uses 5 years, the most recent 5 years of yields, but it uses the farm's yields. So the operator on that farm will likely be working with the landowner to provide those yields. Again, for 2014, we'll use the 2009 through 2013 yields. You multiply those yields each year times that national cash price, the national average price. Again, we'll use those most recent 5 years, but notice something different about ARC IC. You need to combine all commodity crops on the farm. And again, you combine any farms that were enrolled in ARC IC together. So ARC CO is different from ARC IC. And both of those products are really different than the PLC or the price loss coverage. The PLC pays on 85% of the base acres. Again, you'd multiply your base acres for a commodity crop, but only if that crop triggered a loss. If the national cash price for each year fell below $3.70 per bushel corn, $8.40 per bushel for soybeans. And you'd then multiply that times a yield called a PLC yield, and we'll talk about the PLC yield in subsequent videos. But I think what a lot of people will find different is that PLC, and only PLC, can utilize a product called SCO, or Supplemental Coverage Option. It's a supplement to existing crop insurance coverage on the farm. So therefore, there is an interaction between the FSA farm programs and the crop insurance decision that a producer will be making. Again, let's look at a timeline. This fall, the landowner and producers will be working together to determine whether to retain the historic base, and base refers to base acres on a farm, or should we reallocate those base acres, reflecting what was actually planted for commodity crops in 2009 through 2012, but a farm cannot create new base acres. When we look later in the fall, I think that's when a lot of the activity will focus on updating the farm's yields. Again, because the landowner is signing the update, in many cases, the producer will be providing the actual yields by commodity crop for each year. We'll use the years 2008 through 2012, and that simple average of those years times 90% will become this new PLC yield on the farm. And then later this winter, the decision will be made by the producer on the farm to elect ARC CO, elect ARC IC, or elect PLC on the farm. Then next spring and next summer, then the producer on the farm can enroll in the program that they've elected. It's a one-time choice by FSA farm number. Again, the landowner on a farm updates the base acres and or the yields. It's the current producer on the farm that's responsible for this irrevocable contract that allows for an election of a farm program as well as the enrollment of the farm program. If a farm fails to elect one of these three programs, then that farm is not eligible for potential 2014 payments. They could still enroll a farm, but could only enroll that farm annually beginning in 2015. And again, it's a contract that lasts through the 2018 crop. I think you'll soon see that price is really an important consideration. A lot of people say it's about yield, it's about base acres, and those are important. But what is the prices that'll be used for the 2014 crop? We'll use the most recent 5-year national average prices. These are cash prices. They're weighted because they use marketing year averages. And it's an Olympic average for the county ARC program, so we throw out the high and we throw out the low. And the price can never be lower than the reference price, so that $3.55 would receive a plug of $3.70 per bushel. Again, in this example for corn as well as soybeans, the simple average of the 2010, 2011, and 2013 prices are $5.29 per bushel corn, that's rounded to the nearest whole cent, and $12.20 per bushel for soybeans. Those are now known as we saw the final prices determined in late September. Therefore, if there is an ARC or PLC payment in 2014, it won't be made until October of 2015. Separate ARC, a revenue trigger, from PLC, a price loss trigger, because PLC is only triggered on a farm that enrolls and elects PLC, and only if the national average price falls below $3.70 per bushel for corn, $8.40 per bushel for soybeans. Again, the weighted average cash price in any of the marketing years over the next 5 years would need to fall below $3.70 per bushel corn and $8.40 per bushel soybeans. As you make these decisions, think of it as a puzzle. And today, the first piece we put together is this ARC PLC overview. What is ARC and how does it work? How do we separate the ARC county from the ARC individual? And then the next step will be the base acreage reallocation, the letter or the summary acreage history report that the landowners and the producers received in August. Again, determining whether you should keep that old base or whether you should update to new base reflecting what was actually planted on the farm in 2009 through 2012. And then I think once we conclude harvest, I think the focus will be on updating the farm's yields. Can the producer on the farm provide the actual yield bushel per acre for each commodity crop for 2008 through 2012? Even though the landowner is signing the update, in many cases it'll be the producer that will be involved in providing the actual yield. And then lastly, I think this late fall and winter we'll be using the university tools, the decision tools, the calculators, to start to compare the ARC PLC payments for not only 2014, but each year through 2018. I hope you found this video to be of help. Thank you for participating. If you would like further information, please see the websites listed below. Again, most of the questions can now be directed to your county FSA office. I want to wish you good luck as you finalize ARC PLC decisions for your farm or farms.